When we bring things into our homes, we have every intention of making them work. And when they don't work, we have a super hard time with letting them go. And eventually our homes are just bursting at the seams. The reality is that all purchases are trial and error, and we need to declutter those errors. So today we're going to talk about 10 categories of items that are errors that you can declutter without giving them a second thought. Let's get started. Things we bought because marketing told us we had to. Now we are bombarded with ads all over the place, from billboards on the expressway to even when you're at a baseball stadium now, they have them plastered all around the entire stadium. And the worst is when you're at the grocery store, you can't even put your eyes down because they're even on the floor. At least at my grocery store. You'll have to let me know in the comments if your grocery store has ads on the floor too. It's pretty amazing, right? So it is hard for us to make good decisions when it comes to that, and we're all susceptible because these companies literally put billions of dollars every single year to make us part ways from our money. So we are going to make a mistake here and there. I want to let you know, when you make a mistake and you buy something like that, it's okay to let it go. We all make mistakes, but the bigger mistake is keeping that item in your home just because you spent good money on it. Things we keep because we don't have anything better to take its place. We all walk by those items in our homes that we think to ourselves, why did we buy this? Or maybe it's something you were happy about initially, but now every time you walk by it, you think to yourself, oh my goodness, this is not my style anymore. I don't like it. It's not resonating with me. And every time I look at it, it bothers me. I'm telling you, it's okay to let those things go. Even if you don't have a replacement right off the bat, it's all right. You can have a blank space there. Every space, every wall, every floor space does not have to have something. So if this is you and it's an item that you are just so tired of looking at, you're so tired of taking care of it, it's okay to let that go. Get rid of that error. Things that aren't hurting anything and they don't take up a whole lot of space. Now I laugh because my husband has said this to me more than once. I'll say, hey, we're not using this. Why don't we just let this go? And he'll say, what? It doesn't take up that much space. We could just keep it. But for me, if I'm not using something, I feel like we should let that go to someone else who can use it and bring them joy to their life. So I say donate it. If you're not using something, even if you have the space for it, why not let it go to someone who can use it? If this is your first time here, I'm Bren, and I love to talk about decluttering, organizing, minimalism, simple living, making your home cozy, and also ways to live your best life. If you love these topics as much as I do, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Things we keep just in case one of them breaks. I've definitely done this in the past. I keep multiples because what if something happens to one thing and then I'll have it. I won't have to go out and buy another one. That is my reasoning, or has been my reasoning in the past. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Utensils comes to mind. Back in my big house, I used to have not one but 2 utensil drawers just filled with things. Spatulas, big spoons, wooden spoons, plastic spoons. I had such a variety of utensils. And guess what? I always gravitated toward probably the same 5 or 10 utensils. So when I moved into my downsized home, I definitely had to go to town on my utensils and make sure that I kept only the ones that I needed. Those are the kind of things that you just don't need to keep extras of. If you have one that breaks, you can go to the store and replace it. So let the store store those extras. You don't need to keep them in your home. And if you have a bunch of extras, why don't you donate those and let them go to someone who can use them? If you're on a decluttering journey, make sure that you check out my description. I'm going to link several of my videos for you so that you can continue to watch and get motivation in order to declutter your home. Now, this one's sort of just like marketing because our friends and our family are like little mini marketers, and they are so adamant that they love this, that, or the other thing in their lives that they bought that worked out for them that we want to buy it too because we think that it's going to work out for us. So they tell us all about this awesome item. We rush out to the store or buy it on Amazon. It shows up one way or another in our home, and it just sits there. It doesn't do the same thing it did for our friend or a family member. And the next thing you know, we have one big piece of clutter, usually sitting in our kitchen. That's usually the category of items that I fall for, at least, that are recommended to me by my friends or family. The air fryer is one thing that comes to mind in this category of items. I know a lot of people went out and purchased those, and I know it didn't work out for everyone. So what happens is that thing sits in your pantry or in your cabinet, or worse yet, on your counter, taking up counter space, and you have to see it every single day. And you think to yourself, why did I buy this? If it doesn't meet your expectations, it's okay to declutter that error. Let me know in the comments below if you have any of those small appliances that someone recommended and thought it was fantastic for them. You bought it and it just did not work out for you. Things we love so much that we think that we need more than one of them. Oh, this is a big category for me. So back in the day, I used to buy multiples of clothes. If I loved the fit of a shirt or a pair of pants, I would buy multiples of them, not just in the same color. Usually I would buy other colors. And what that meant, at least for me, is that I would always gravitate toward the one that I actually loved. It's usually the initial one that I bought. So let's say I had a couple colors. Let's say I had black and then red. If I loved the black one, I would always grab that one. And then that meant that the red one was just not ever used. If you bought something and you just loved it, you loved it so much like me that you went out and you bought more of it, make sure that you just part ways with the ones that you don't actually feel as great about. Let those go to somebody else. Get those out of your closet. And you know what that's going to do? It's just going to make you have less guilt because your closet isn't clogged up with things that you don't use, and it will make all of the things that you do use really visible. It's going to be a great experience for you if you do this, trust me. I have done it and I'm so glad I did. My day-to-day life is so much better. Things we actually use, but we have too many of them. Now in this category, it's pots and pans for me, hands down. You know, Le Creuset, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's one of those companies that has all the different colors. And I would love to buy the different colors in that brand. So sometimes I would have the same pot in a different color. I guess just like my wardrobe. Anyway, so you might be in the same predicament. Maybe it's not colors that you have, but maybe you have duplicate sizes. Over the next couple of weeks, make sure that you monitor yourself. What are you actually using? I think you're going to be really shocked when you start to take notice, wow, I use the same 4 or 5 pots and pans every time I cook. That is eye-opening. It was for me. I'm really curious, after a week or two, if you find this to be true for yourself, come back to this video and leave me a comment. Let me know if this actually did work for you. I would love to know what you decluttered and the errors that you got rid of. Things we haven't used, but we think we might use. Well, those things do exist. Maybe there's a period of time right now where you just haven't pulled out your Vitamix because you're too busy. It just is taking too much time. You don't have the products in your house or the time to go purchase those in order to do a smoothie. It is okay to put that item in another area of your home, like a storage area. Let it sit there for a period of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and put a note on your phone or your calendar to check back in and see if you're going to use it. You can have access to it if you need it. But the good thing is you'll be able to live in your space without it, and out of sight, out of mind. That way you will really know, hey, I have not used this. Maybe it's time to let it go. Things we no longer use, but we once did. Now, this can be an activity that you used to do. Maybe you used to be a runner. Maybe you used to do art classes or knitting projects, but you just don't do those anymore. Or you had a home improvement project, you started it, it didn't work out, you hired somebody else to do it, but all of the supplies that you bought in order to do it yourself are still sitting in your garage. Those are the kind of items that you can absolutely declutter those errors. You don't need to keep those just because you once did something, but you're no longer doing it. And actually, it's going to really release you mentally, because if you're looking at those things, it can make you think, well, why don't I do that anymore? Why didn't I finish that project, right? And that's just no way to live. We are not committed for the rest of our lives to do an activity that we once loved or we once tried. Or if we tried to do a project and it just didn't work out, it is okay. We are human and we are not meant to be experts at everything. You don't have to be an expert at everything. And you can also grow and challenge yourself to do other things. So make sure that you go through your home and just declutter any of those things from past activities or projects that you are no longer doing. You are going to have such a relief when all of those things are gone, because every time you look at them, it kind of gnaws on you. It sort of keeps you in the past. And really, it's all about being present. Be here right now with the activities that you enjoy today. If you're on a decluttering journey and you need some motivation, check out my description below. I will link some of my other decluttering and organizing videos for you. I think you'll really enjoy them.